We're concerned with the uniqueness of Jesus. And today we're going to think about the resurrection, not as just, well, nobody else really is expected to rise from the dead, but there's even more specific statements about the resurrection that make it unique. In the book of Job, chapter 14 and verse 12, it tells us here, in fact, verse 10, man dies and is laid low. He breathes his last and is no more. As water disappears from the sea, or a riverbed becomes parched and dry, so man lies down and does not rise. Till the heavens are no more, men will not awake or be roused from their sleep. There are a few kind of shady predictions in the Old Testament that the dead will rise. In the end of Daniel, there's the valley of dry bones that becomes a mighty army and breath goes back into it. But the idea of resurrection in general is pretty vague and unclear within the Old Testament. Jesus himself, during his ministry, raised 3 people from the dead, only 3, and they all died again. When Jesus was raised from the dead, 1 Corinthians 15 tells us in verse 20, Christ has indeed been raised from the dead, is a fact, the firstfruits of those who have fallen asleep. It wasn't just a personal experience for Jesus. It was setting in motion a chain of events that will result in the resurrection of all the believers and will lead to the salvation of the world, a new heaven and a new earth. When Jesus was raised from the dead, it was a vindication of everything that he said. It was true. He had conquered. He conquered death. But unlike the other 3 that were raised by Jesus' ministry, Jesus would never die again. He ascended into the heavens and he will come again in glory. But there's this word firstfruits in 1 Corinthians 15:20. It's a foretaste. It's a foreshadowing. Jesus' resurrection guarantees that we too, who put our faith in him, will be raised. Jesus is unique in that he doesn't just have power over his own death, he has power over death, and he dispenses his life, his resurrection life, to us who are in Christ. No one else can do this. Jesus is unique.